I'm Aaron Valencia, founder and executive director of Lost Angels Children's Project. Back 2011, 2012, there was just a combination of a lot of things happening at the same time. I started volunteering at a local soup kitchen here in Lancaster, Grace Resource Center. I had a small business restoring classic cars in an industrial complex, and had a lot of kids in the neighborhood coming through. There was a family that was homeless that was nearby, and the little kids, they were 6 and 9, and they were always coming in my shop and hanging out. We had skateboards and music and little dirt bikes, and I'm teaching them little things in the shop. And it just got me just looking back at me growing up with, with not many resources, family in prison, a lot of domestic violence and drugs in the household, and just bouncing around and just not having stability. Since creating a life for myself as a young adult, using my hands and having a business, and just realizing where I'm at now and thinking, how can I take this and turn it into something that I can then help younger versions of myself? In 2014, I started Los Angeles Children's Project as a way to combat youth homelessness. It started as I built a classic car that I had from leftover parts and did a giveaway, did a raffle, and sold $20 raffle tickets. And in 5 weeks, we made almost $40,000, $50,000 that we split between a local homeless shelter for youth and a shelter down on Skid Row, Union Rescue Mission. And it started as just a way to help kids that were homeless, just so they could go to Disneyland, have a pair of shoes, show up to school, and not feel like the have-nots for a moment. Well, I did that for 2 years, and by the third year, 2016, it really turned into give a man a fish or teach a man to fish. It went from here's some funding that we raised to opened up an after-school program, doing classic car restoration and art, teaching welding, metal fabrication, math. A lot of what we're trying to do is really create a sense of belonging. When young people feel, or anyone, when they feel like they belong to something, they tend to put their heart into it. So we're creating a sense, people maybe might not have that same sense of belonging at home or whatever family they have or don't have. We try and create that here. It's a safe place to come and learn and be after school, and just really just another support system.
It's hard work, but it's totally worth it. You find yourself in the mornings wanting to get up.
I feel a lot of what we're doing is really trying to create the formula for success in what's working. How do we train our young people and really build those sectoral partnerships in the community, hopefully really deep in the aerospace industry with Lockheed, Northrop, Boeing, Stratolaunch, to be able to hire all of our young people. We've been super fortunate that Northrop has been hiring a lot of our graduates. Our last 2 graduating semesters, Northrop hired, I believe, 95% of our young people, and they're all on a wait list right now, going through background checks and getting all of their clearance. And starting a career, starting at $23 an hour with full benefits. These are futures. We're trying to surpass the $16, $17 an hour jobs in retail and get young people prepped and ready for a full career.
I only worked in the fields, and I had a fast food job. So my career was a little let's say stagnant, because it wasn't really going anywhere, and I didn't have any experience to do anything else, and I didn't know how to branch out. When you're here, you feel like you can learn anything, do anything.
I learned how to weld. I learned how to fabricate parts from nothing really, from metal. I learned how to make composites, which I thought was super cool. It taught me skills that, a lot of companies look for. I was hired from Northrop on my very last 2 weeks of class. So I wasn't even done with my class yet when I was hired. I was given an offer letter by Northrop.
One of the things, aside from the jobs that were being made and the futures that were being created, was for me, when we're done at 4 o'clock and it's 6 o'clock and a huge percentage of our young people are still here working, hanging out, talking with our case managers, and really just being here and talking about paying bills and adulthood, and just creating that safe place where this was a place where people wanted to stay and wanted to keep working. For me, that was the biggest, that was when I realized this is working.
The semester started in March for our cohort, and that was about 3 months. After the 3 months, he hired us as staff, and the semester that just ended, that was about 2 weeks ago, So we were there being instructors for those students. So that was pretty cool. Like being on Aaron's side and learning from him.
Like I wasn't expecting to go to college. I was like, I'm not gonna go to college. I'll just go to a trade program, and this was literally the perfect thing because I'm a hands-on learner and I've done a lot of handyman work. Everything I'm learning right now is applying to like what I want for my future.
A lot of the trades and blue-collar work has been pulled out of high schools: auto shop, metal shop, wood shop. A lot of young people aren't really inspired into these fields that are out there that are paying well. People coming from maybe a lower income or a higher barrier background might think that maybe a better career and a better future isn't really attainable. Maybe even going to college isn't attainable. If you grew up in a household where nobody's doing that, you tend to think that that's just your life, that you won't really, it's really not, you're not set on that path either. And we want to flip the script on that and show you that you can come from anywhere with any background and still be successful. And that we're here as a way, like we got your back, and we want to show you this is the path. That it doesn't matter what you've been through or where you're from, it's where you're going, and we're here to help you on that path.
Every now and again I'll do the same, but for the most part, I like doing circles. Because I can control and I can whip that puddle back where I want it, you know?